Just off the Texas coast sits a unique beach town marked with salty vibes and sun-soaked memories. Port Aransas is a place where family traditions unfold naturally, and beauty lies both in island views and the unhurried moments between adventures. One visit, and you'll see why generations of Texans have anchored their traditions to the island life. Start your new favorite family tradition in Port Aransas, Texas. Go to visitportaransas.com and plan your visit to Austin's beach. Today on CityCast Austin, we are finally on the other side of South by Southwest, and for us, this year's festival was intense. I'm here with newsletter editor Kelsey Bradshaw and executive producer Eva Ruth Moravec to tell you what we thought was overrated, what was unexpected, what we love, and our big picture hot take. It's Thursday, March 20th. I'm Nikki Devon, and this is what Austin's talking about. Hey, Kelsey. Hey, Eva Ruth.
Hello. Happy South by Southwest is over.
Yay, we made it. Go away, everybody.
Yeah, seriously. We've talked before about just how big of a draw South by Southwest is. In 2024, there were more than 500,000 people who participated in it, with an economic impact of more than $375 million. Brands throw all kinds of money at South by in order to get attention for their special showcases and standout red carpet appearance on activations and more. So what do y'all think, off top, was the most overrated part of South by Southwest this year? Eva Ruth, what about you?
Well, there was a lot of hype around Dubai's Museum of the Future. They took over a parking lot on the corner of Congress and 3rd, and I don't know, I guess I just kept getting their advertisements or the emails about it. And so I wanted to check it out, and honestly, it was a little bit depressing to me. It was all about, so the big immersive thing they had was like this room that was round, and it had screens all over the walls and ceiling. It was this immersive art. It was an AI installation called Earth Dreams by Refik Anadol. And honestly, it just reminded me of a screensaver. You know, one of the old ones that was like an image that morphs into another image, and then it's another image.
Yes, those are good screensavers on the family desktop.
Yes. Which I can watch, but like, do I hope that that's where art is going? You know, that was the part that was kind of depressing to me. It was like this AI art that I was like, sad.
Yeah.
So maybe I wasn't the target audience for that.
Was the Dubai chocolate worth the hype?
Okay, yes. That part
Okay.
was worth it.
So not all bad.
100%. It was delicious. I am very curious about it. I would like for people here to figure out how to make it and start doing that.
Okay,
ASAP.
so they're like, come for the chocolate and also look at our screensaver.
Yeah, look at the screensaver.
I saw that and I was going to go, but that kind of art makes my flesh crawl.
Oh, you would have hated it.
And so I'm like, and I don't like gigantic things in general. It looked beautiful from the photos, but even from the photos, my flesh, I was like, this is making my flesh crawl. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It reminded me, because I only saw photos of it too, but those Van Gogh immersive, where it's just like it's in a warehouse and they put up Van Gogh art.
Yeah. It was in the old Austin American Statesman building for a while.
Yes, it was.
Exactly.
And that, oh God, that alone, it makes me so upset, because like I'm a big yes, we should make more art accessible. Like art should be more accessible. But that is like so gross to me that they're like putting up a PowerPoint of Van Gogh and they're like, all right, walk around and you have to pay $30. Like I don't enjoy that.
That man cut his ear off. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about a real artist.
Yeah.
That like suffered. It makes me upset that like so many artists die poor. They die poor. Van Gogh was poor when he died. And now here we are hundreds of years later, like, ooh, on the wall. It's immersive.
We projected it. Yeah. The thing you cut off your ear for.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I'm like. Yeah, I just don't know. I would rather see a painting that somebody, like intended to be in this frame. And this is the thing they worked for 3 years on or whatever,
Yeah.
It just felt a little meaningless.
I don't know how you make the screensaver, and I'm
Yeah.
sure digital art is hard, and
Yeah.
and like hours and hours and hours and hours go into it, and I can't do it. But also, it's
Sure.
just not for me. It's not
Yeah.
for me.
My overrated thing is sort of related to this. South by Southwest is very like free stuff, right? Everyone's like, what can I get for free? Where can I get in for free? Obviously, I love free stuff, but like, I think free food and free drinks is maybe where we should call it. But I am like really over and kind of sick to my stomach about like all the free pointless merch and like the freebies and stuff. Like, I think if you're going to have free items at your South by Southwest event, like they need to be like good. Like there's no reason I should be coming home with koozies, with tote bags, with water bottles. Like everyone has 1,000 of those in their house and it's literally just hurting the planet. And like, it's gross.
Yeah.
Like I went to an awesome event that was like put on by Graza Olive Oil and like I got free olive oil and like I understand it's expensive to give free stuff away, but like that is something that's useful that I can use and like
Yeah.
it's not just like a plastic necklace and
It'll
like
last forever.
yeah, it'll last a long time and like I can restock it. They have a sustainable way to restock your olive oil. This is not a Graza ad, but like whatever. I'm excited about South by and I'm excited about like the buzz of the city or whatever, but so much of it is like, come get our free useless trash. Like just come
Crap.
get our trash. And like I think there's like better ways to do this. The free stuff kind of made me ill this year. I was like, I don't need any of the stuff you're giving me.
I didn't take any of it.
No, none
People
of
were
it.
trying to shove stuff in my hand. I was like, nah, honey, I'm good.
I don't need another
free.
t-shirt.
I don't
I don't know.
Now, I bought 2 t-shirts. I bought 2, like, if you give me something that I know is going to go directly to a band,
Yeah.
I will pay for it.
Yeah.
I will pay for that. But all of this other crap, no thank you.
Austin is such like a earth conscious city. I don't know. Let's encourage people to stop giving me water bottles. That's my overrated thing.
Kelsey doesn't want no more water bottles, y'all.
What's your overrated moment?
So I know Lisa's going to kill us. She's going to kill me. Shout out to Lisa for coming on our beautiful podcast and giving us all those tips. But I almost threw my phone because of Discord. The Discord, social media, following, trying to figure out where everything is, trying to figure out where everybody goes next. Oh, it was too much. It is a young person's game, I think, because every time my phone went off, I was like, what? And Lisa said this, to be fair, like, you have to like kind of sift through and find the stuff that's important to you. But it's like, it's the fluff that I just couldn't like. Where y'all at? I'm over here. What's it like? Anybody know where this is? What about this? It's also chatting. So it's not just like, hey, right now there are free drinks at this place. It's not just the information. It's like chatting. Oh, I heard this and I heard that. I don't care about what you heard. Are you there or not?
I need the facts.
I need the facts. And I just like, it was very overrated and overwhelming for me. I was like, I'm turning this off. I'm taking this off from my phone. I can't, I was like, I cannot handle all this nonsense. And it's still going. And I'm like, y'all, South by is over. So get off this little Discord. Get off. It was too much for me. And I'm sure
that
for some
sounds like
people,
a lot.
some people, like, it works for them.
I could barely handle the group chat of my friends when we were all at
Yeah.
South by. I was like, please, it's so much information.
It's too much.
I love you all, but
it was just like chaos. I was like, y'all are completely
That's too
unhelpful.
much.
And I'm glad that it works for other people because like
There we go.
there were people in it, right? Like they were using it, they were utilizing it. It just did not work for me. It was too much.
No, I support that.
Totally.
It was bad.
As the resident teenager here, I support.
Well, and it's like, it upsets me because I was so excited. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna bitch, you gonna have your finger to the pulse. Like I was so excited. Nah.
You were like, the pulse is too high.
The pulse, I got absolutely nothing. That's not what I expected. Speaking of unexpected. So I want to hear about your unexpected South by moments or even if it's like necessarily surprises, it's just like, I did not see that. I did not see that happening. That was out of my bingo card today. Kelsey, why don't you go first?
Okay, so I have like 18,000 answers to this. So like I didn't expect.
Yes, please.
Perfect.
Yes, please. Perfect. Yes. Yeah.
I did not expect how hard it would be to get into some films this year. I had an interactive badge, and every time I went to try and see a film at Alamo Drafthouse South Lamar location, couldn't get in. My friend Lindsay, she had a wristband, and she got into 12 films, but it was because she avoided Alamo and she mostly avoided the Paramount.
Wow.
Like, she was like doing it right. And like, she was up at AFS, she was down at Zach Theater. They were doing screenings at the Hyatt right on Congress. And so I was kind of like, oh, I maybe don't know what I'm doing. So that was unexpected. And so I ended up doing a lot more free stuff this year. And one of the things that was unexpected, I don't know if any Love is Blind fanatics listen to the podcast, but I love that trash show so much. It's so bad, and I love it. So right outside the convention center was like a 20-foot tall golden wine glass. So like the thing on the show, I don't know if it's like because they can't show them drinking on Netflix or something, or if this is just the aesthetic they're going for. None of the wine glasses are like clear glass. It's always like a golden goblet, and it's like so funny, and it's kind of become like a joke of the show. And right outside the convention center, there was a gigantic one. It was humongous. It was so tall and it was gigantic. And like all of the cast members were out there. And I would just like walk by every day and be like, there's Kwame. He lives in Seattle. like there's so-and-so. Like, it was just like crazy.
Meanwhile, I'm off into a completely different world with my mouth open, just like
thinking about the gold goblets.
Trying to picture the gold goblet and figure out why I didn't see the gold goblet when I was down at the, like,
it was kind of hidden. Like when I walked up, I was like, it's supposed to be right here. And it was, but it was like, there's like trees. I don't know. It was kind of hard to see.
Okay.
It was a little hard to see. Yeah.
Okay.
But it was there.
Okay.
I was down at the convention center a little bit, not a ton. There was a live podcast taping that I really wanted to check out for the podcast called Unusual Suspects, which is hosted by Malcolm Gladwell and Kenya Barris. And their guest for the live taping was Brené Brown. It was unexpectedly entertaining, I will say, because there was just a lot of tension. And that was fun. It was fun. And it was like you're holding on to see what they're going to say next. Like it wasn't uncomfortable, but it was almost like they were like mind wrestling with each other, Brené Brown and Malcolm Gladwell, which was cool to see that they just have such different perspectives. Malcolm came out the gate saying that he doesn't feel shame. And for Brené Brown, that's like a huge topic that she talks about, and being comfortable with shame and like how to address it and moving through it, like living in the uncomfortable stuff. And Malcolm was just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't really. So it was like, ooh, hold on, everyone. This will be fun. So
no, I caught the end of that and it was wild.
Yeah. It was unexpected for a like official panel to have that tension going on, in my opinion.
Yeah. Nikki, you should start fighting more of our guests on the podcast.
Child, listen. A couple of my friends were at that talk. My white lady friends love Brené Brown. And so they thought it was great. One of my friends was like, it was so inspiring and I felt powerful and like I should take up space and not let a man talk over me. I'm like, yes, ma'am, honey. I'm so glad that you have that. Feel that. Yes. Yes. And they said the same thing, that it was like, it got a little tense. For me, the unexpected thing was, one, C-Boys programming. C-Boys had some top tier programming. I mean, like, when I saw that Big Frida was going to be in C-Boys, I was like, what world is this? What's happening? And then John C. Reilly was there casually.
I saw that.
They really keep proving that they are a steady go-to for music in the city, regardless of what's going on. Like, so like, yeah, okay, South by's here. Cool. We're going to have these things here. We're going to have the people that are in the city already come and do something. It's like, I like that we have a place that people come into town knowing like, oh yeah, this is the place that you should go if you just want to like intimate, interaction with Austinites. And it was just all over the place. And I love that. I love when a venue is just like, you want to come? You want to come? You want to get? Everybody should come. Everybody, sure. John C. Reilly and Big Frida, yup. Both of those people should be here.
It's such a small venue for them to play too.
Tiny.
I love that they're like, I mean, for the artists to be like, no, this is worth our time while we're there. Because they probably had 1,000 invites to play at different places. Like, that means something.
I would love the behind the scenes on like John C. Reilly. Like, did he contact them? How did that go down?
Seaboys on South Congress, if you haven't been, it just like anytime, they always have amazing music. Really fun. It's dancey.
You got to go with the expectation that you're going to get close and you're going to be up on top of each other, but you're going to hear some really good music. It made me really proud, which is weird. I was like, see, this is awesome. That's what I'm talking about. And then the other thing is, I don't know if I was just in the wrong places at the wrong times, but it seemed like this year there were fewer people. And I know that they anticipated that there were going to be all of these people, but as I was moving through the city, I don't know if I got lucky and that might be it. I just wasn't seeing the throngs of people that I normally saw. Even when I was at the Michelle Obama thing, like, yeah, there were people specifically in line for that. But I just remember days where you go to the convention center and there are people everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was there at 1:00 in the afternoon, and it was like a ghost town outside of it was weird. There were no people.
Well, and I think one of the days I like walked down 6th Street. I'm so used to 6th Street being closed.
Yeah.
And there's just tons of people out there just like milling about. There's like a bunch of weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
And like none of that was happening. Even like right outside the convention center where there's usually like throngs of people, that wasn't happening.
The like block party kind of feel.
Yeah.
That wasn't really there.
Yeah.
And there were so many times I was like, where is everybody?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
And that was pretty unexpected. Hey y'all, it's Nikki. I have to tell you about Tecovas boots. I finally have a pair, and I don't know if y'all know this, but they're handmade, high quality, and stylish. And they're comfortable right outside of the box. Now, I know we buy everything online these days, but trust me, you have to get fitted for some boots at Tecovas. Now, whether you're like me, a newbie to boots, or you have a closet full of them, the folks at Tecovas will help you find your next favorite pair. So, grab a friend, head on over to the Tecovas flagship on South Congress or their store at the Domain. Plus, good news, they just opened a store in Georgetown at 709 Main Street for those of you that live just a little further north. With 3 locations in town, you have no excuses. So, that's tecovas.com. TECOVAS.com. Don't go gently, y'all.
This episode is sponsored by Babbel. Are you holding back on foreign travel plans this year because you're afraid of the language gap? I'm not, because I have Babbel. I'm David Plotz, the CEO of CityCast, and I'm learning Spanish on Babbel, getting ready for a trip to Mexico City. Babbel is the language learning app that gets you talking. Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons, handcrafted by over 200 language experts, get you to begin speaking your new language in 3 weeks or at whatever pace you choose. Babbel's tips and tools are inspired by the real-life stuff you actually need when communicating. With a focus on conversation, you'll be ready to talk wherever you go. Babbel has given me great lessons on getting directions, ordering in a restaurant, and making plans. And of all the things I'm doing in Mexico City, I'm probably most excited about the soccer game we're going to. So I was excited to learn how to cheer from Babbel. That'll be me you'll hear yelling, "Fuerza Tigres! Fuerza Tigres!" With over 16 million subscriptions sold, Babbel's 14 award-winning language courses are backed by a 20-day money-back guarantee. Let's get more of you talking in a new language. Babbel is gifting our listeners 60% off subscriptions at babbel.com/citycast. Get up to 60% off at babbel.com/citycast. Spelled BABBEL.com/citycast. Babbel.com/citycast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
I didn't see a lot of people, but I did see one person that just blew my mind. And I want to talk about what I loved. Listen, look here, everybody listening. I saw Michelle Obama for 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Hell yeah.
And it was, okay, I am not a person that gets starstruck easy. I have said this millions of times because I got this weird thing in my brain that's just like, they're just people. They do not want to be bothered. Do not go running up to them. Like, just let them live. And we were in the press pit for Michelle Obama, and we're all standing in like a line across the front, and all of us are just giddy. Everybody, everyone in the press pit is giddy. The people that were volunteering were giddy. You could just feel it. You could feel this anticipatory, like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. So you have to apply to be in the press pit. And then if they say that you can do it, you get 3 minutes from the time that she steps out to take all the pictures you want. And then they kick you out. They kicked us out. And so I didn't get to hear a lot of what Michelle had to say. But when she came out, y'all, my heart jumped. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, I got flooded with all these memories of all this pride that I felt to see a woman that looked like me in the White House the first time. And also just like to see all the Black people in the audience, just like to see a Black family, all of these memories that I was not expecting. And so like I had my phone up, but I was looking above the phone and I just had my finger just like on my cell phone, just like hitting the thing over and over again with like tears welling up. And I have never had that. I've never had that kind of experience before. That's never happened to me.
You were moved.
It was just like this opportunity to see somebody that I just didn't realize had such an impact on me at the time. I knew in practice, like, oh shit, this is a big deal. But I don't think I understood at the time like how much of an impact she made until she came out. And then I was just like, oh, I think I'm about to start crying. And the guy next to me was like, oh, I'm already crying. It was just like,
so cool.
y'all, it was incredible. And just to see her be effortless and talk to her brother and tease her brother and just be this normal Black mom without all of this like bad attention and picking apart of her. And it just felt really, 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 really good. And all I could think about was like, holy shit, imagine having that much impact that just like coming out on stage sets people, like brings people alive. It was the best thing about my entire experience, period, hands down. That's it. 3 minutes. That's it. And I got outside and there were these 2 Black women outside and they were like, why are you leaving? Did you see her? I was like, oh, we only get 3 minutes to take photos. They're like, can we see your photos? And then the 3 of us were just like, I was like, look at her, look at her. They're like, oh my God, yes, bitch. I showed up with my cell phone because this just in, I don't have a real camera. And then the person next to me had his cell phone. And then everybody else had these gigantic telephoto lenses. And so you could hear just like the paparazzi, like, and then me and the guy next to me was like, tink, 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 tink.
Like he's crying. Yeah.
Crying with my cell phone.
I love it.
That was my favorite thing.
So cool.
What about y'all?
Mine doesn't compare at all.
I know.
Why should we even go?
Exactly. We're done here. Thank you. Let's move on to the next category.
Yeah, honestly.
Music does tend to have that impact on me where I can like get so sucked into. I love watching people play their instrument.
Yeah.
And I got very lucky and got to Luck Reunion, which is not part of South by, but it's so during jealous. South by. And it's just insane. It's very inaccessible. I'll say that. They cap it to a small audience. I think it's like 2,000 people. And they don't just like sell tickets like a normal music festival. You have to enter a drawing and you have to like be lucky enough to get picked to then buy your ticket. It's like the craziest way that people get in. And it's out at this ranch that Willie Nelson owns that I guess he like built to shoot movies. And so it's kind of like a little old Western town. So there were like 5 different stages of music. And I got to be really close to Taj Mahal. And that was a very special, moving moment for me. Just
That's amazing.
Oh, he is so talented. He played with this quartet, and they played on a small, like, I always love a like small tent stage, the jammy stage. That's always my favorite. And it was it felt intimate and special, and I loved it. And it was immediately like, why aren't more people here? Why can't more people come out to this? Like, this should be, 5,000 people. They should have camping. It shouldn't be this like pain in the ass to get out to. But that was very special. My favorite moment.
I love that. I love
that's
that.
awesome. Well, and I'm always jealous of people who can get out there during South by.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out like, how do I really want to capture this? But photos, like mostly just, I didn't want to be like the person with my phone out the whole time, not having the experience. But I did some audio recordings of like songs that I'm just like, oh my God, I'm going to listen to this for so long.
I love that.
It's so
I love
dorky.
I had equally meaningful experiences.
Just in case you were wondering.
At the Severance panel and at the Love is Blind house. Both of you are
Who
like
moved you to
crying,
tears, Kelsey?
being
Tell us.
moved. I'm like, Ben Stiller.
I love Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
So Ben Stiller was at South by Southwest, and he did a panel, and they just like chit-chatted about Severance and like how Apple TV like picks their projects that they're going to air and stuff like that. And it felt like such like a real South by moment that I was having, because I don't know the last time I like fangirled like that, because Severance is my whole life right now. Like, I am on Severance Reddit all the time. Like, I'm just like, I'm very into Severance. It's like very,
Oh my gosh.
it like doesn't match my personality. Like, I don't really do this. I mean, I guess I do. I don't know. But like when he came out, I was like, oh my God, my little guy, like Ben Stiller. He directs my show. So that was really fun. And like, they showed like little clips from that week's episode. They were like, hey, do you want a 60-second clip from this week's ep? And it's so funny because while they were showing the clip, which it's already aired by now, but Severance is about people in a workplace. And like the clip was that like 2 people talking in an office. And I was like foaming at the mouth. And I was like, oh my God, it's just 2 people talking in an office. And I was like, they're back in the office this week. Like, let's go.
Awesome. You got the true fan experience, Kelsey.
Listen, I love a true fan.
And then my other extremely meaningful to my heart experience was going to the Love is Blind house on Rainey Street. Haven't been to Rainey since last year, South by Southwest. It's crazy over there.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that they're building everything everywhere over there, and it's like shady now because
Right
they're
on top of
skyscrapers.
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. But so Netflix, they aired the reunion of this season of season 8. And beforehand, we were just like chilling for like 2 hours, free food, free drinks. We were drinking out of the gold goblets. It was incredible. It was so funny. We were waiting in line outside, and my friend Amanda and I were like, oh, like I just woke up from like a weird daytime, like 4 p.m. nap. Like I'm kind of out of it. And then when we walked into Lucille's, we saw that they were putting drinks in the gold goblets. We were like, I'm up. I'm awake. I'm getting a goblet. Let's go.
Rejuvenated.
Give me my goblet.
Yeah. But so like all of the men on this particular season, trash. Like I think there's maybe like one good guy. Yeah. Like one of the men, like, so this season took place in Minneapolis, and like the girl, she was like, I'm super progressive, and I want to know your thoughts on like LGBTQ rights. I want to know your thoughts specifically on Black Lives Matter because we live in Minneapolis. And he literally was like, never really thought about it. And I was like, Like, what do you mean?
Oh,
Immediately
gosh.
no. Immediately
yeah.
no. Immediately
Yeah.
no.
Oh yeah, spoilers for Love is Blind finale. She says no to him. She's like, we don't align on stuff. And like her sister is gay, and like he goes to church, and she was like, do you know your church's stance on LGBTQ rights? And he was like, I didn't remember to look into it. And it was like, what are you talking about? Like just like crazy responses. But this one specific, I'm getting to the point, I swear. This one specific guy, he just like anytime, I think it was very clear he didn't want to like talk about his views on camera. I think his name's Devin, but she said no to him. And during the reunion, she was like, Devin wouldn't share his views on camera. And like, I'm not going to speak for him right now, but I will tell you what I believe. And she was like, I believe in LGBTQ rights. I believe in women's rights. You know, I believe in all this stuff. And so it was kind of clear that like, maybe he doesn't. And so I went up to her after. I like accosted her. I was like, I am so happy you said no to Devin. And she was like, oh my God, thank you. I was like, so sorry for accosting you. I was like, you're so beautiful. I'm so happy you said no. And she was like, thank you. It was so funny. Because like the thing about these like Netflix Love is Blind celebrities is like, they're me, right? Like they're just us. Like they're just people. They go to work while they're filming and they like live their regular lives. And so it is just like regular ass people where I was like, oh, Garrett. Like, oh, Shane's here. I was just like,
look, this is what we're doing at South by. We're meeting our heroes.
Yeah, it was just like the most
Whether
out of
they
body
are
experience.
Michelle Obama or the one who said no to Devin.
Yeah.
On Love is Blind.
Virginia. Thank you. Thank you for everything, Virginia. You're a smart
Shout
lady.
out to Virginia. Okay, now I actually am going to have to watch an episode or something.
It's crazy. It legitimately is a very crazy show. So yeah, I also had a meaningful time.
Listen, let me tell you something. I am learning so much about both of you on this episode, and I am excited about it. I am excited that I know this now. If I even catch wind that Love is Blind is coming to Austin, we're going to do whatever it takes to get Kelsey on, period.
We're nominating Kelsey.
I'm taking a CityCast work leave. I'm going into the pods.
No, you said that they work. They all do their work.
No, I know, but I have to go
film.
date in the pods. Like I can't work while I'm in the pods falling in love with a wall, Eva. God, get it together.
Wow. Now we've done the good, the bad, the unexpected. What is y'all's hot take? Complete this sentence. South by Southwest this year was blank.
I'll go. South by Southwest this year was maybe a good example of why you don't need like a film wristband or badge because it was so hard to get into certain things. I didn't know about this until this year. And I'm sure it's existed and it just wasn't on my radar. But like you can buy tickets to movies. Like they have a limited number of like tickets for the public. Don't need a badge. You don't need a wristband. Like you don't need any official anything. They are like $30. But if you only want to see like one or two movies, I think that's the way to go. You're guaranteed a seat. That's my hot take is like maybe people should be doing that plus the free stuff.
That's it.
And like that's kind of South by for us. I don't know. That's my hot take.
I like it. What about you, Eva?
South by Southwest this year was very reminiscent of Fiesta in San Antonio, which is, but not quite as fun, I will say. I mean, Fiesta's incredible.
Everything.
It's everything. This year, it just felt really long to me. Like maybe that's just because I'm old. And like another weekend, it's 2. I just felt like it was very drinking heavy, which I don't oppose, but I think that that's kind of a lot of what Fiesta in San Antonio has become is just this like giant booze fest. Mm-hmm. And that did seem to be a lot of the emphasis this year, which is just interesting. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I just noting. And yeah. What about you, Nikki? Hot take?
So South by Southwest this year continued the trend of being less and less what it seems like it originally was. and it's supposed to be. It seems to be this year. It seemed to stray even further away from just like this cool festival that is kind of accessible. All you got to do is this and this and this. Easy to figure out where to go and what to do and who to see. And this year, it was just like a reminder that it is just not what it used to be.
Yeah,
it's just not. It's not what it used to be, and maybe it's not for everybody. Also, South by Southwest this year was a reminder of why lots of Austinites don't engage.
Right.
They just don't. They don't even bother with South by.
Yeah, there's this news that's out now this week that it's going to be a shorter festival next year, and they are cutting out the second weekend that's music only. There were some numbers about like how international the musicians have become, and that those are mostly like countries showcases, which is along those lines too, of it just kind of becoming this bigger, like it's no longer like, I don't know, the weird quirky stuff, you know?
Yeah. Last year, roughly 1,200 bands played South by Southwest. This year, the total was 1,012. And of that number, 35% were international bands. It's the highest percentage in the festival's history.
Yeah.
And next year, they are not going to do music at all.
I think they'll have some during the week, but not that last weekend, which is the huge...
they got rid of the second weekend.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Yeah.
That's my new word.
That is our
Garbage.
hot take.
South by South. Garbage. Get out of here. You take the last weekend is it's that cool little chunk of time where a lot of people have come in to the city, they've done their thing, and now you get like the John C. Reilly thing. You get that last little taste of like Big Frida, that last little taste of people still in the city that now they're out in the city to see what's happening, what's going on, what can I get into, and you're taking that away. So, you know.
Well, and I'm very interested to see what next year, like with this second weekend gone, the festival like starts in the middle of the week and there's going to be no convention center. So I'm like very interested to see what it's going to look like.
You can get your tickets now.
Oh yeah, the tickets are the cheapest they'll ever be for next year. So
what are they? Are they 17,000 instead of 20,000?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for chiming in about South by Southwest. For me, y'all, this is great. I hope that everyone appreciates our rundown.
Our hot takes.
South by. If you do not appreciate our rundown, we would love to hear. I want to hear Eddie. I want all the smoke. I want to hear what you have to say about our picks and what you think we missed. We'd love to hear it. Kelsey, Eva, Ruth, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
That's all for today here on CityCast Austin. You can find links to our South by Southwest coverage from this year in our show notes. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Austin newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye, y'all.